Hi guys, so we're into our last lesson in this topic of five-figure summies and box plots, etc. But we're going to do our starter first, and these are one of my favourite types of questions that we can get, which is our bog seat questions, as Mr. Edwards likes to call them now. If you haven't tried the starter, please do try it. Use your notes from before to double check it's the same process every single time. Have a look for a triangle. We want to split it in half. So the first thing that I'm going to do is have a look through my information. So we've got the centre of the circle, centre O. AB is a chord of the circle, so the straight line here, and AB is 70. So I'm going to write 70 centimetres above that line. And the radius OA, that's this line here, is 40 centimetres. So the first thing I want to do is try and make a triangle by connecting another radii to the other end of the chord there. So if that's 40, then this is 42. Now, we want to try and find a right angle triangle, so we're able to use Pythagoras. So we want to split this in half. That was a pure line, but anyway. And then we can go from there. So I'm going to draw my triangle and fill in my information. So we know our radius was 40. Half of 70 here will give me 35. And I've got my right angle. I'm looking for this A because it's not across my right angle. Now here, how do I get 35 after 70? So we've got Pythagoras, we'll have A squared equals C squared, take B squared. A squared equals 40 squared, take away 35 squared. A squared equals 375. So we need to take the square root of that. And it gives us 19.4. Right, then we want to work out the field width for Taylor. Now I know this line here is now 19.4. I am looking for the field width, so I need to find this bit. Now that's another radii apart from purely being drawn. So we're going to add these two numbers together. So our width of table is going to be 40 plus 19.4. I don't know why I'm underlining, so I've not even worked out my final answer yet. So I'll get 59.4, and then I can underline. There we go. Now, these are one of my favourite questions. They come up every single year, so it's worthwhile knowing what we want to do. Go through your questions, double check with me, double check with your teacher, to see what we're doing. Now, as I say, it's our last lesson we're going to do on five-figure summies and box plots. So let's make sure we kind of practice. Again, we're going to do the box plots, so we need to have a ruler, and we'll go from there. Now, I'm just going to do one more example with you because you've done it, so it's up to you whether you want to relabel it as 1 or label it as 3 because we've done it yesterday. That's kind of your choice. It was shown below the hours worked by the part-timers at Q and B. See what's happening there. And we've got 12, 12, 14, 15, 17, 19, and so on all the way up to 27. Calculate the median and the quartiles, and then draw a neatly, notice that word there, neatly labeled box plot to show the distribution of the above hours. So the first thing I need to do is actually work out my median and my quartiles, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We've got 13 numbers, so it's odd, which means there is going to be a number exactly in the middle. If we do 13 divided by 2, I get 6.5. So I'll be looking after the sixth number. So it's this one here. So let's double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, it's up to you how you want to work it out. You can't just use your fingers again and work your way in until you get to 1. Then we want to work out quartile 1 or lower quartile. Here it's going to be right in the middle of 14 and 15, so Q1 equals 14.5. And then here Q3 equals 23. So if we have a look at our range, we're going to have 27 take away 12, which is 15. I'm going to go up in 2s just because I'm using a slightly different grid below because it's slightly bigger range. It's slightly harder for me to do. So I'm going to start at 10. And I'm going to go up in 2s rather than writing every one. But this little blue line is worth 1. So then 14, 16, 18, 20, and so on. I'll just keep going up till I get to the end of my line. And we'll go from there now. as I've done every single time, I'm going to use a straight line tool. Please do use a ruler because it does make a difference, and it does look much, much neater, especially in your jotter when we're going there. So my lowest number is 12, so I'm going to put a line at 12 for my lowest, and I'm going to put a line at 27 for my highest. Now remember, those blue lines are worth 1, so we're going in between them. So my lower quartile is 14.5, which I've put in the wrong place. Perfect, there we go. Now I'm in the correct place. So right in between 14 and 15, which is this little blue line. Then I'm looking for 19, which again, we're on the blue line, in between 18 and 20. And then 23, again, on the blue line, in between 22 and 24. Now that's me done all my vertical lines. So I'm going to do my horizontals just to join them up. So here, we want to make the box for the box plot. Now you'll notice when I'm actually doing it, I don't put the horizontal line at the edge through my box plot. The box plot's nice for it to be clear, it's nice for it to be noticed which part is which. So do not put this horizontal here through the middle, just leave it as it is. So it should look something like that. Again, if you use a slightly different scale, it's absolutely fine, it doesn't matter. Now the last question I'm actually going to go over before I give you the questions you're going to do is from your textbook. And it's about how we can remove information from a box plot. So you've got 3 men hit 15 golf balls at driving range, 8 choosing a number 6 iron. The box plot diagram shows the distances in meters they hit their golf balls. And then write a few sentences comparing the 3 men's driving skills, mentioning their median scores, the spread of their shots, who was likely to be the novice, who is the most erratic, and who is the most consistent. Now the questions that you're going to be doing today are sometimes drawn 2 box plots on one, and if you have a look here, you can use the same diagram or you can use the same scale, just put one above the other. That's absolutely fine, but notice they've left a wee gap so it's clear. No problems. The first thing I'm going to do, you don't actually have to write this fully out, but I'm going to go through it with you just so we can see the process. So I'm going to have lowest, Q1, Q2 is our median, Q3 is our upper quartile, and then our highest. And I'm going to do that for them all. So we've got Bob, we've got Ted, and then we've got Rod. Now it's just showing you how we can work backwards from our box plot to get our 5-figure summary if we're ever not given it. So lowest equals Q1 equals Q2, Q3, it's highest. Right, so for Bob, our lowest, remember, is this line here, we've got 40 meters. Q1, 50. Q2, 55. 75. And then Bob's highest there is 85. Now I'm just going to go through them for them all. Ted, his lowest is 60. His Q1 is 70. His median is 85. His Q3 is 115, which is fine. And then his highest 130. And then we've got Rod here, this brown one, we've got 75 as the lowest, 80 meters, 90 meters is our Q2, Q3 is 100 meters, and 105. Now all I've done each time is worked backwards, having a look at the scale, having a look at the box plots that are there to get our numbers. Now it's asked us to write a few sentences comparing the men's driving skills, mentioning their median scores and their spread. So here's another example where we're just going to practice writing our comparison sentences. So our medians here, we've got 55, 85 and 90. So we want to use our phrase on average. And then because 90 is your highest one, Rod can hit the ball further. And then I'm just going to say as his median is highest. Just because we've got 3 number comparisons, so it makes it a wee bit confusing. Now, if you have a look here, we can see even from the diagram that this median line, that there is your highest one, so we could have taken it from the diagram. We could have made that statement there using the diagram, and that's absolutely fine. But again, we want to practice taking the information from it. Then here, we're talking about spread. Now, we don't actually know the spread yet. We could work them out. So I'll move this down slightly. What we want to do is for Bob, if we work our interquartile range, so Q3 to Q1. So it will be 75 take away 50, which for Bob is 25. This one is 115 take away 70, which is 45. And then here we've got IQR, it will be 100 take away 80, which is 20. Now, if we're having a look, remember when it comes to spread, the higher the number, the less consistent you are. So then we can say Ted is the least consistent golfer as his interquartile range is highest. And then the question asks us to determine who do we think was a novice, who do you think was the most erratic, and who do we think was the most consistent. Now, for most consistent, we can have a look at our interquartile ranges, the lowest number there. So Rod, most consistent. Then most erratic was our highest interquartile range, so Ted is the most erratic. And then if we have a look back at our box plots, Pure Bob seems to be the novice. He can't hit it as far as the others. He's only just starting off. So novice equals Bob. Now that question there was a wee bit of an odd one, which is why I thought we would just go through it together, because it was question 7 in your textbook. Now the work that I want you to do is page 109, 110, question 4 to 6. This is our last time we're going to do box plots, so please, if you've got any questions, ask them, and just file them in your head and knock it off for another day. Okay.